Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on fraction exercises. The following examples will involve pictures and will be asked to answer various questions relating to fractions. In order to help us answer the questions, we will be asked to find the number of parts we are considering as well as the total number of parts. So we'll be asked to find the numerator and the denominator, and then we can write down the fraction. We can then write down the answer in the form of a fraction. So for number 1, for the above diagram, what fraction of the pizza is left? So up here we have the number of parts that are left. So imagine that's a blue plate. How many parts are left? We can see that one part is left. The total number of parts that we had in the pizza originally, you can see that it's been divided into 4 parts. So the fraction that is left is 1 over 4. So that is the fraction of the pizza that's left. Number 2, what fraction of the square is coloured blue? The number of blue parts are 2. So we write down 2. The total number of parts, 3, 6, 9. So the total number of parts we have 9. So the fraction of the square that's coloured blue will be 2 over 9. Now we move on to the next slide. What fraction of the circle is shaded blue? The number of blue parts, you can see clearly it's 3. The total parts, 4, because it's been divided into 4 equal parts. So the fraction of the circle which is shaded blue will be 3 out of 4. I think you'll be getting the idea by now. What fraction of the circle is brown? The number of brown parts, 2. The total parts are 3. So the fraction of the circle, shaded brown, will be 2 out of 3, or 2/3. What fraction of the circle is blue? So the number of blue parts, 1, 2, 3, easy to see. The total parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 parts altogether. So the fraction of the circle shaded blue will be 3 over 10. What fraction of the circle is not coloured? So we have to be careful with this one. I'll repeat. What fraction of the circle is not coloured? So the number of parts that are not coloured are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 parts that are not coloured. The total parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 parts. Though the fraction that's not coloured will be 5 over 7. Now let's move on to the last slide. What fraction of the above fruits are apples? The number of apples we have are 3. The total fruits you can see 5. So the fraction that are apples has to be 3 out of 5, which is 3/5. Next one. What fraction of the animals are cats? So how many cats do we have? 1, 2, 3. That's what I see. I see 3 cats. How many animals altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 animals altogether. So the fraction that are cats will be 3 out of 8. What fraction of the numbers on this red die are even? Now if you know anything about a die, which I think most of you would, that's a singular of dice. The numbers on a die are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we can see some of the numbers already, but you can't see all of them because it's of the way it's facing. So they're the numbers on this die here. So what fraction of the numbers are even? Well, how many even numbers do we have? 1, 2, 3. Because you remember from the very early video, the even numbers are 2, 4, 6, so there are 3 of them. The total numbers on a dice are 6. So what fraction of the dice contains even numbers? 3 out of 6. Now, later on you will learn, and I think your teachers will be quite easily able to explain this to you, that in simple terms, that's actually a half. Because you know yourself that 3 out of 6 is a half. 3 parts out of 6 parts represents a half, because 3 is half of 6. What fraction of these dice are not red? So here we have 4 dice altogether, but the ones that are not red, I can see 3 of them. The total dice, I can see 4. So the fraction that are not red will be 3 over 4. So I hope you've enjoyed that video, which has given you another good insight into how fractions work using the numerator and the denominator.